Dobrý den, vítejte u nového videa. Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to have a look at yet another topic related to the preposition na, and it is going to be the second part of the practical video. Last week we practiced sentences with na and the locative case. In today's video we are going to have a look at sentences with na and the accusative case. If you haven't seen the initial video, what to expect from the preposition na, I recommend that you have a look at it right here. And now let's focus on this. We will have a look at a couple of examples of sentences with na and the accusative case. And just like last week, I'm going to give you more examples of the preposition na and accusative case, and I'm going to speak about less grammar. I'm going to use almost identical examples as I did last week. And if you feel like it, you can even copy this down and watch the other video and write it next to it. And then you can compare how the accusative is different from the locative using very similar sentences. When we use the preposition na and the accusative case, we are speaking about a direction, where we are going, where we're heading. For example, jdu na zahradu. I'm going to the garden. Na zahradu. Zahrada, zahradu. Then we have chata, cottage. How would you say I'm going to the cottage? You could also use the form jedu, by car. I'm going by car, or I'm traveling in a vehicle, versus jdu, I'm walking. Jedu na chatu, na chatu. Jedu na chatu. I'm going to the cottage. Střecha, a roof. I'm going to the roof. Maybe it's your favorite place to read. Proč ne? Střecha changes to střechu. Jdu na střechu. Maybe it's the only place that has signal. So, jdu na střechu. Pošta, post office. I'm going to the post office. Jdu na poštu. Jdu na poštu. Letiště, an airport. I'm driving to the airport. Jedu na letiště. Here it doesn't change. Na letiště. Jedu na letiště. Nádraží, station. I'm going to the station. Jdu na nádraží. Also identical. Or jedu na nádraží. I'm walking to the station. Jdu na nádraží. I'm driving to the station or taking a vehicle. Jedu na nádraží. A poslední, gauč. You could also say I'm going to the sofa. There is no other room, so I'm gonna sit on the sofa. Jdu na gauč. No change. Jdu na gauč. If you wanted more complex sentence with this particular noun, you could say jdu si sednout na gauč. I'm gonna go sit on the sofa. Jdu si sednout na gauč. If you feel like it, you can repeat after me. Opakujte po mně. Jdu si sednout na gauč. Jdu si sednout na gauč. Remember last week I also added more adjectives or pronouns here in front of the noun? We will do the same thing. How could you say I'm going to the beautiful garden? Jdu na krásnou zahradu. Jdu na krásnou zahradu. I'm going into a beautiful garden. In the last video I used the pronoun our. How do you say I'm going to our cottage? We could say driving to our cottage. Jedu na naši chatu. Jedu na naši chatu. Now, how could we say I'm going to the old roof? Jdu na starou střechu. Starou. Jdu na starou střechu. I'm going to the new post office. Jdu na novou poštu. Jdu na novou poštu. I'm going to the Prague's airport. Remember, we had pražské letiště. That would be the nominative. And jdu na pražské letiště would not change either. Jdu na pražské letiště. Nádraží, we spoke about the train station. I'm driving to the train station. Jedu na vlakové nádraží. Also no change. Jedu na vlakové nádraží. And the last example with gauč. How do you say comfortable couch? Do you remember? Pohodlný. Jdu si sednout na pohodlný gauč. Jdu si sednout na pohodlný gauč. Let's review. I'm going to cover these and you will tell me just the black words. You don't have to worry about these adjectives, the orange words. We have the word zahrada. How do you say I'm going into the garden? Jdu na zahradu. Jdu na zahradu. Chata. I'm going by a car or a vehicle to the cottage. You can pause the video to think about this. Jedu na chatu. I'm going onto the roof. Jdu na střechu. I'm going to the post office. Jdu na poštu. I'm driving to the airport. Jedu na letiště. I'm going to the station. Let's say we're walking there. Jdu na nádraží. And the last one, poslední. I'm going to sit on the sofa. Jdu si sednout na gauč. Jdu si sednout na gauč. Now we are going to be focusing on events related with the verb of movement. Again, we have this movement arrow. We are going to ask questions. Are you going for this kind of event? For example, jdeš na koncert. Are you going to the concert? Concert. That accusative doesn't change. Jdeš na koncert. What would happen with oběd? Lunch. Are you going for lunch? Jdeš na oběd? Also the same. Jdeš na oběd? Snídaně. Jdeš na snídani? Jdeš na snídani? Are you going for breakfast? Výlet? A trip? Jdeš na výlet? Jdeš na výlet? And the last one, výstava, an exhibition. Jdeš na výstavu? Jdeš na výstavu? And just like last time, we are going to add the demonstrative pronoun ten, ta, or to, depending on the gender of this noun. Are you going to that concert or to the concert? Jdeš na ten koncert? No change. Are you going for that lunch? Jdeš na ten oběd? Again, no change. Jdeš na ten oběd? Are you going for that breakfast? Jdeš na tu snídani? Jdeš na tu snídani? Are you going for that trip? Jdeš na ten výlet? Jdeš na ten výlet? And the last one, are you going to that exhibition? Jdeš na tu výstavu? Jdeš na tu výstavu? And in this last part, we are going to have a look at 3 verbs and 3 examples with each. Again, there are more phrasal verbs followed by na and the accusative case. If you are interested in learning more than just these 3, you can go back to the video from 2 weeks ago. The first verb is těšit se, to look forward to. We use this a lot. I look forward to the meeting. For example, těším se na schůzku. Těším se na schůzku. I'm looking forward to the meeting. What about if you're excited about Saturday? How would you say I'm looking forward to Saturday? Sobota, that's the base form. Těším se na sobotu. Těším se na sobotu. Let's see one example with a pronoun ty. I'm looking forward to you. Těším se na tebe. Tebe is the form that we use for the accusative. We also have tě, but that doesn't go after preposition. We can say vidím tě, I see you, but těším se na tebe. We have to use this longer form. Opakujte po mně. Těším se na schůzku. Těším se na sobotu. Těším se na tebe. Let's see the other phrase. Jsem zvědavý, zvědavá na. I'm curious about. I mentioned that this curiosity is something that drives us. What if you're curious about a book? Kniha or knížka. Knížka is informal and it's more common, so let's use that one. Jsem zvědavý na knížku. I'm curious about the book. Jsem zvědavý na knížku, or zvědavá. What if you are curious about an upcoming presentation? In Czech, prezentace. It's feminine. Jsem zvědavý na prezentaci. Jsem zvědavý na prezentaci. What if you're curious about Wednesday? Something interesting is happening on Wednesday. Středa. I'm curious about Wednesday. Jsem zvědavý na středu. Jsem zvědavý na středu. As you can see, I gave you examples with feminine nouns because those are the ones that change here. If we had anything else, film, jsem zvědavý na film, I'm curious about the movie, that would not change. Jsem zvědavá na pondělí, I'm curious about Monday, also doesn't change. And the last phrase, mám chuť na. I am craving something. Literally, I have taste for. How do you say I feel like eating a pizza? I'm craving pizza. In Czech, pizza, and it's pizzu. Mám chuť na pizzu. Mám chuť na pizzu. What if you're craving beer? Pivo. Mám chuť na pivo. Stejné. It's the same. Mám chuť na pivo. Mám chuť na pivo. I feel like drinking a beer, or I'm craving beer. And the last example, do you know how to say chocolate in Czech? Čokoláda. Ta čokoláda, it's feminine. How do you say I feel like having chocolate? Mám chuť na čokoládu. Mám chuť na čokoládu. Okay, perfect. And in the last part we are going to put ten, ta, and to again. We will be referring to something that we previously mentioned in a conversation, for example. You could say, I'm looking forward to that meeting. Těším se na tu schůzku. Těším se na tu schůzku. I'm looking forward to that meeting. A těším se na tu sobotu. You could say that too. I'm looking forward to that Saturday that's coming and we're gonna go for a hike. Těším se na tu sobotu. I'm curious about that book. Jsem zvědavá na tu knížku. I'm curious about that presentation. Jsem zvědavá na tu prezentaci. I'm curious about that Wednesday. Jsem zvědavá na tu středu. Here we can also use this pronoun if we have specific food or drink in mind. We are looking at it or we spoke about it. Mám chuť na tu pizzu. Mám chuť na tu pizzu. Mám chuť na to pivo. Mám chuť na to pivo. Poslední. Mám chuť na tu čokoládu. Mám chuť na tu čokoládu. And this is all. Write in the comments what adjectives you could add to these words or the words in the previous slide. I'll start. Těším se na tu důležitou schůzku. I'm looking forward to that important meeting. Těším se na vaše komentáře. I'm looking forward to your comments. Mějte se krásně. Ahoj. Do you enjoy my videos on YouTube? You can support my work on Buy Me a Coffee. Click on the link below the video and make a one-time donation for a price of 1 tea or as many teas as you wish.